Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. So today I'm going to be filming myself. So sorry if the camera-age, is that even a word? If the videos are not the greatest, but I will try. I'm going to wear the head cam a little bit. So basically in today's video, I haven't even explained the video. I'm going to sort of do like a day in the life, sort of, I guess. Basically with Teddy. So basically what I do with Teddy, so he's just here. I'm currently in the very messy tack room. So I'm going to show you a bit how I train him, what I do with him. Now I don't do this every single day, but I do try to do it 3 times a week at least. So yeah, I'm basically going to be showing you how I sort of, not train him because he is already trained, but sort of reinforce, if that's the correct word. So like I long rein him a bit, and then I get him used to like the saddle and bridle, and then I have been training him to lie down a bit, which he hasn't lied down fully on command yet. But I can show you a bit about sort of how I teach him that and the steps and some of the fails, because there's probably a lot more fails than there is like things that go well. Like probably in every one time that I get him to do what I want, which not that he's like being bad or anything, just that he doesn't really know, I probably get about 3 fails, even more maybe. Kind of depends on the day, but there he is, finishing his feed. So I think I'm going to wear the head cam for most of it, but I will try and maybe put the camera somewhere because so you can sort of see it from the outside view. What is that? It's got a little rub, I think. I'll just check that in a sec. So yeah, I'm going to pop the head cam on and start grooming him a little bit, and then yeah, just enjoy the video, watching me do stuff with him. Make sure you like and subscribe. Good boy. Oh yeah, his head collar is quite yucky. He rolled with it on, and then he got a little dirty. I'll pick out his feet. He's still a bit dirty. I might go over him again with the brush in a sec. Let's see if I can sort of put his feet on. Is that on Ted? Like Teddy's there. If I hop. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm going to make sure that you can watch this. that I can try that apparently gets the dust off your horse. Let's see if I can find this, and then I'll grab this bucket. So I've got a bucket here. I'm going to quickly go and fill it up with water. So if you're wondering why the camera's not pointing at me right now, it's because I do not have a cameraman today. I am videoing it by myself. So the footage might not be quite as good, but it is on like wide angle mode, so I can go quite far and it can still video, so that when I edit it, it will hopefully be able to still be on me or Ted for most of the time. But yep, okay. So you squeeze it out, and then so you want a damp cloth. Well, a damp, clean cloth. This isn't extremely clean, but hopefully it'll work. It just feels quite wet still. Okay, and then you just pop it on them. Kind of works. It gets like some of it off. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see that he's a lot more shiny on the bits that I've wiped. But I mean, I think that's just because it's a bit wet. So as soon as he dries, oh my gosh, look at that. And excuse his head collar, it's very dirty. So all the bits that are like still, like that is in one place, like when he's tied up or stuff like that, or just like bits in the yard, I'll try and video it like this so you can see me. But when I long rein him and I go around the track, I will wear the head cam, so then you can sort of see it from my view. And I can explain a little bit sort of what I do and how I train him. But I'm not a professional, so I don't want to say too much information and then I like get some wrong. So I'll only say the stuff that I know 100%. Well, this has actually done quite a good job. But I don't know if this is that it actually cleans them and gets like the dirt off, or if it just sort of covers it so it looks clean. But yeah, it's definitely made this cloth quite dirty. Okay, so I'm going to get his saddle and saddle pad. So I know that for this sort of saddle, I'll be on screen in a sec. Oh, I know that this sort of saddle doesn't need a saddle pad, but when I put it on him without a saddle pad, good boy, he was just a bit uncomfortable. I think he didn't really like it that much. He was like sort of a little bit annoyed with it. So I know the saddle pad is a bit big, but he prefers it a lot more with a saddle pad on. I guess it like sort of makes it a bit more comfy and a bit more padded. So, and these saddles, they are literally so light. They're literally like, yeah. So it's really good for him to sort of just practice having it on him. Good boy. And I don't want to do his girth up too tight because he's still sort of learning. And as you can see, it is a little bit big. It does kind of go over his shoulder. So I don't put it on him for massive amounts of time in one go. What was I getting? Oh yeah, his bridle. So Teddy doesn't like the bit in his mouth, and I am getting him used to it, but it's taking a little while. He sort of chews it a lot when it goes in his mouth, and when and he doesn't like you putting it in his mouth. So he's got a bitless bridle. This is Bob the bitless bridle, and it actually fits Chino and Teddy, so it's very adjustable. But have I showed you guys Chino's new bitless bridles? I've got Chino a couple different ones. Well, actually it's only 2, I think, but it seems quite a lot to me. So yeah, Teddy's bitless at the moment. I do sort of want him to be able to have a bit, but I mean, he's quite good bitless, so I'm not too worried about that. And then it also means that he can munch hay while he's got his bridle on, which is good for him and sort of good for me, I guess. Depends what I want him to do, but if he needs a break, he can keep his bridle on. Okay, right. And it is like a synthetic, is that what it's called? Like, it's not leather, and I did put leather reins on it because those were the only reins that I had that actually sort of fit Teddy, like the right length, which I actually have. How many pairs of reins do I have? I've got Chino's reins, these reins that are Teddy's reins, and I also have another bridle which is huge. It's like a full-sized bridle, but those reins are way too long. And the reason I have that bridle is before we got Chino or Teddy, or like even before we had Bear, I wanted to practice taking apart a bridle, and because I didn't have one, because I didn't have a pony at that time, so we just bought an old bridle in a second-hand shop so I could practice taking it apart. So that was quite good. Okay, so in a sec I'll show you, but he has got a, on his throat lash I sort of have to twiddle it round a bit because it is too big otherwise and it dangles down loads. And also this can also be used as a head collar because it's got like a little underneathy clip, which is good. So I am just going to let him have that on for a minute, just to let him get used to it, which he is quite good with it. I'll give him some scratchies, and then I'll put the head cam back on, and I'll put his long reins on, and I'll long rein him around the track. I think I'm only going to walk him today. One, because I don't need him. I just want to practice him sort of walking and steering and stuff, but also because I don't have a helper with me. Other times that I've long reined him, either a friend's round or there's like my riding teacher's here, or like there's always a person around, and this time I'm by myself, so I don't want to do too much stuff that could go wrong. But I think if I just walk him, then he should be fine. I'm gonna switch to head cam. The only annoying thing about head cam is that it doesn't, I can't use the mic with it. So if you can hear sort of loads of wind, then I am sorry that you won't be able to hear me speak so much. When I edit it, I will try to sort of cut out the wind noise, but it's... Yes, Chino, it's gonna be your turn in a minute. Well, probably more like half an hour, maybe a bit more even, but... Right. It's okay. So basically, when I long rein him, I'm basically just pretending that I have reins, and I'm holding the reins and like pulling one side depending on which way I want him to go, and then I sort of wiggle, sort of shake the other side to imitate someone tapping him with their legs. And then every now and then I also get him to turn a little bit and then stand. Sometimes I just get him to turn randomly, like if we're up there and in a big space, I get him to like turn a circle or something to make sure he's listening to me. And Chino can be ridden bitless. The only thing when I'm riding him bitless is if there's grass, he's got a lot of strength to eat the grass. Right, stand. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand, stand. Good boy. I'm going to get him to go up around that gorse bush and back down. So I'm going to just pull this side a little. Good boy. Don't keep. Yeah, good boy. And then we'll turn left here. Good boy. And lots of well dones and good boys, so he knows he's being really good. Come on. Ooh. Good boy. And then now walk down. So I just went around that gorse bush just to sort of give him something to think about a little bit, to sort of change it up a bit, so that I make sure that he's not just walking around the track, that he is listening to me. And then stand, stand, stand. Good. On the way back, he is a little stand, cheeky with standing. So, stand, good boy, stand, 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 Teddy. I haven't asked you to walk on yet. Yes, good boy. Stand. Okay, now walk on. Probably the only thing that he's a bit naughty about, which he's not being naughty. Naughty is probably the wrong word. Just a bit cheeky, or he doesn't really understand that well. That when we're going back down, so when he knows that we're going back to the stable to his hay, he seems to speed up a bit, which is kind of normal. Most ponies do that when they know they're going home. And he doesn't really listen to me so much when I ask him to stand, so I do have to pull him back a little bit harder, which sometimes he's perfectly fine, and I just give a tiny little pull and say the halt word. I'm not going to say the actual cue because I don't want him to like get mixed up, and sometimes he does it and sometimes he completely ignores me. So, and stand. So stand, stand, oi, stand, Teddy, stand. You cheeky little monkey. He went for the hay. Right, let's get you going straight away. Right, come on. Right, let's turn him up. Once he gets up here, come on. And stand. Good boy. I'm just going to come up here, make sure that this is not all dragging on the floor so that he doesn't get his feet on anything, but I'm just going to come give him a little pat and a scratch, a little break, tell him he's a good boy. Now the reason I didn't do that in the yard is because I basically don't want him to learn that every time he goes in the yard he's allowed to stop. So he went in the yard, turned around and started going again, and because he was being good, listening, was happy to do another lap, then I gave him the reward and let him sort of have a break. And then after this lap, I'm gonna stop for a bit, give him a little break. Don't turn. And walk on, walk on. Good boy. Yes, Chino, I am gonna do stuff with you. Have you already eaten all your hay? Yes. I don't know if you saw it, but he did a little nod when I said, have you eaten all your hay? Good boy. grab this brush, give Teddy a brush off, and then I do need to clean his head collar because it is very dirty. You are currently in Chino's grazing muzzle again. Chino, I never realised how big Chino's face was until like a few months ago. Well, actually no, I have known it for a little while, but Chino has a very big head. So Chino is size pony for like his tack and like saddle pads and stuff like that. He's size pony. But for his face, the size pony does not go over his nose. He's got a humongous face, and so his grazing muzzle is size cob, which he is a Welsh cob, a Welsh section C, I think. He might be crossed with something else, but I think he's a Welsh cob. Well, he's a Welsh section C. He might be crossed with something else, but I think he's just that. And yeah, he's got a very big face. And sometimes I say that he uses his big head as a hammer because he does like to give you the odd thump with his head, doesn't he, Ted? Or more, he just like gets his nose and sort of like pushes you up, and like it's a little bit. I mean, if you know he's going to do it, like I know, now that I know him quite well, I know like sort of when he's going to do it. But if you're not expecting it, it can give you a bit of a jump scare. And sometimes I don't really know what videos to make. Now, I do ride, like, I obviously don't video every time I ride. But if you want me to just make videos that's just like ride with me, just like me basically videoing myself riding, then I can. But I don't really know if you guys would want to watch me just like riding. Maybe the odd one that's just like groom tack up and ride with me like on a hack. But I don't really think, I mean, do you want to watch me doing a hack? What is this? Teddy's like rubbed his fur away here. It's not like bleeding or anything, there's just a bit where there's no fur. I might just put a bit of green spray, like sort of antibacterial horse spray. I'm going to quickly get that, which I don't think like he needs it, but it doesn't do any harm if I put it on. Did anyone hear that? What was that sound? That is really creepy. Did you guys hear that? Like literally. I'm kind of scared. That was really, there was just like a really loud, well, not really loud, but for a cat meowing, it was really loud. It was like, sounded like cats fighting or something. It was probably just our cat fighting with our other cat, because they are not friends. They are definitely not friends. But it did sound like a very loud hiss and meow. It came from over here. I cannot see any cats. Oh look. Oh look who's here. Can you see him? Did you just fight with Tabitha, mister? Did you? Did you? Be nice. Well, that was a bit of a sort of interesting. Oh, he's gone now. Well, let's get back to the video, because this video is not about cats fighting. Him, and then Is that pointing at Teddy? It's very hard to put it up. No, that's not going to work. I could just hold it, although I have sort of brushed him mostly down, so I might just sort of do something like fill some hay nets or poo pick while he's just having his little break, and then I will be back when I've done and I can show you how I train him to lie down, which he's not gonna, I am 90% sure that he's not gonna lie down today, but just basically showing you how he's going, sort of the process. So yeah, I'll see you when we're doing that. Okay. Let's get this feed bowl, pop it here. So I'm gonna show you basically what I do. So because at the moment he's not going to lie down, I'm just sort of getting to the first couple steps of getting him to understand to lift up his feet. I have a feed bowl here. Come on. So when he's good, I just put a bit of feed, a treat in his feed bowl as a sort of reward. And the reason I don't do it from my hand is because if I do it, he starts doing this. And basically, he's always in my face like this to get treats. And they can become a little bit bitey if I do that too much. So just tap it. Good boy. And then as soon as he picks it up, I give him a treat. I'll just tap here. Good boy. So really what I need him to do is with his back ones, lift them sort of up and forward. But for now this is good, just to... Good boy. Make sure he knows how to pick all his feet up. And then at the start I just get him to pick up one foot. And then I'll get him to pick up two. That one and then that one. Good. And then I'll go around to the other side. And again, start off with just one. Good. Good boy. Good, there. I think I'm going to finish here because he has been quite good. I have long-reined him and I've done this with him. So I think I'm just going to finish the video here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or anything like that, just put them in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. It's the whip. You're not supposed to eat the whip. Do you want more food? Well, you can have some more hay now. Yeah. Good boy.